Is it not at a disadvantage because of education?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, there are those who believe that it is a deliberate way of you northern elites to keep your people perpetually uneducated and poor so that you can control them.
No.
But is that fair?
No. If I can vastly now accuse the southern part of the country of moving with policies that deliberately put the north in the disadvantaged area, what will be your defense?
Is it the south that caused the disadvantages that you see in the north?
There are a lot of things that came to play. Nigerians may argue here or there about the regulation of social media, but at the end of it, years to come, after the damage must have been done, they will come looking for it, and then it will have been too late. Today, I can say everyone has become a victim. Seun, if you are not one, I will be surprised.
I have petitions.
Exactly, yeah. But you see, managing it now is going to be more difficult for both government and individuals. And then it's going to bring a lot of hatred, rancorous situation. That is not helpful.
But what you were proposing, Senator, is it sounded like you want the people to be gagged.
No.
The social media has given people the opportunity to freely express themselves. But what you are saying is that as though you want people's mouth to be sealed and people to be gagged.
No. Welcome back to Local Journal, my people. This senator, they call Senator Nala, don't they come out, they accuse the South of being responsible for the illiteracy of the northern region. He talks it as a result of so many policies we don't happen for inside the past. Now the reason why the northern region did like this as it did today. He talks say most of those educational reform where we say now southerners that they implement and they put the northern people at disadvantage when it comes to education. And this one now onto session being asked whether the northern leaders and politicians they intentionally deprive their people of education so that they go use that one take control them. But the senator refuted the claims and in talk say nobody go feel whole and responsible as one of the people who contribute to the illiteracy where they inside the north. The senator blamed religion and he also blamed so many things where they go on for inside the north. He talked about how religious indoctrination for the northern part of the country they affect the north. He talked about how person when you get any job to do they marry plenty wives and they give birth to so many children where we say they no go fit take care of. The senator talk say he no go fit hold the northern leaders responsible for the illiteracy where they go on in the north. Rather, in talk say the leaders from the south betray the north. And how he talk say the south betray the north. In talk say after the war we say them fight, he say the south alone hijacked the civil service and they don't even allow any northerner come close to the civil service at all. And as they come day ahead for inside civil service, they come they implement policy where we put the north at disadvantage. Well, for me, I don't understand in standpoint of view because for inside this country, now the northern leaders, now they don't rule past. Even they claim say the southerners hijack the civil service and that one ain't cause the illiteracy where they go on for inside the north. No be them don't be the president pass for inside this country. Why be say then no we come up with policy where go put the north at equal advantage with the south according to his own claims. Now people will not understand the past, now then go believe all these things where these people they talk. When Obafemi been they give the Yorubas free education, the north what did they do that time? They indoctrinate their people how to make them more religious. So how you can't take the fault of the southerners say the north carry religion for head and they don't do anything to better their lives in terms of education. Waiting una one make the southerners do again before una know say then they try for una wey be northerners. During Goodluck Jonathan, in build Almajiri school, but waiting una do una sabotage am. Most of the southern president wey don rule this country, they don't do plenty things make them please the north, but yet una no dey please. E be like say person no go fit please una at all. And until the leaders wey comot from that region understand say na them be the real problem of the north no go fit move forward. So this senator also talk about social media regulation. In talk say make the federal government do anything where they fit do so that they go fit regulate the social media. Because he talk say the thing where they happen for inside social media go fit set this country on fire. For me, in as much as say some people they misuse social media today, he never reach that level where we say they go say me they regulate and abi make them gag the media. It be like say they no want make the masses get any mouth again because if anything they happen for inside this country, the only way where we say go fit use express ourselves abi cry out to the public that through social media. And if they talk say me they regulate them, that means it won't gag the masses. Well, in talk many things inside the video, so I go play the video so that we'll go watch the video. But before we watch the video, if today that be the first time you visit our channel, make you like, make you share, and make you subscribe.
Is it not at a disadvantage because of education?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, there are those who believe that it is a deliberate way of you northern elites to keep your people perpetually uneducated and poor so that you can control them.
No.
But is that fair?
No. That's not the correct thinking. I will tell you why. You see, in a way, religion played a role there. The man who has not gone to school, he's been told that he can marry 4 wives, is allowed, and that he can give birth to 27, 30 children. You understand? So it's not even thinking that, these 27, 37 children, I have to educate them. And I do not have a house where I can provide 27 rooms for everybody to sleep comfortably. And you know what comfort does to intellectual development, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that is not correct. I think what is happening is that because of deficit of education, maybe, and I hope I'm wrong, maybe the leaders did not put in place what was reasonably necessary to accommodate that dislocation for the purpose of educating the populace. So rather, they leave it that way. That's how.
But isn't the failure of the leadership of the Northern?
It is. It is.
So you and your colleagues, Northern elite, you have failed your people.
Well, I will enter a plea of no guilty to that charge, in the sense that, have we been given the opportunity, for example, to occupy, you understand, positions from which we can generate policies that will address these issues? If you don't have that opportunity, what do you do?
But the Northern elite have failed the people of the North.
Well, I don't want
with the rate of out-of-school children, the level of poverty in that, the backwardness that you see in development, isn't a sheer failure of some of you who lead the North?
I don't know what is your definition of failure is. But
when people from that region of the country cannot favorably stand shoulder to shoulder with their colleagues in the South, they don't have the same advantage or the same opportunity that they have. Most of them are on the street. Do you know the number of millions of people, children who are on the street?
That was inherent. If I can vastly now accuse the southern part of the country of moving with policies that deliberately put the North in the disadvantaged area, what will be your defense?
Is it the South that caused the disadvantages that you see in the North?
There are a lot of things that came to play.
There are those people who say some of the southern states there are deliberate efforts by some leaders in the South to keep the South more developed than you find in the North. These are debates.
Let me tell you.
These are conversations.
These conversations at times will generate something different because the understanding may be different. But let me tell you something. Unfortunately, we fought a war. After the war, you understand, the civil service of this country was hijacked by a section of this country. And therefore, deliberate efforts were made to make sure that their people are empowered as a deliberate issue. Deliberate policy was put in place, however, not clearly outwardly, that can be read, to keep another section perpetually distant from the civil service of this country. You understand?
And you blame leaders from the South for that?
Why will I blame them? I won't blame them, but I will say they betrayed the thinking of our heroes past, who believe in the unity of this country and who wanted to see a strong, united Nigeria. They betrayed that.
So you do not accept the blame on the Northern elite for keeping the North underdeveloped.
They are not keeping maybe what I don't understand. You
still don't agree that your children are on the street, Senator, the northern part of the country. In their millions out of school, uncared for, uncatered for.
Let me tell you.
Is that not the failure of the leaders of that region?
It's not.
Who is responsible for them?
I don't want to say it's failure. You understand? Now, education is not something you pick on the street. It's a resource-backed enterprise. You understand? Now, can you honestly say that resource-wise, did not had opportunity to have the resources that will turn the North around educationally? You were able to do your own, Sheung, because I've given you an example that if you take 10 Sheungs from the South, their children will be averaging 3 and 4. If you take 10 Balana Allahs from the North, they will be averaging 12, 20. So if, for example, you give 1 million to Sheung to educate 4 children, and you give the same 1 million for Allah to educate 27 children, that doesn't mean I have 27. I have only 3. You understand? So you see, these things are issues that were as old as the independence of this country, and our leaders knew about this, and they have made efforts to make sure that that situation is reversed. Nigerians may argue here or there about the regulation of social media, but at the end of it, years to come, after the damage must have been done, they will come looking for it, and then it will have been too late. Now, information, you know better than myself, is normally allowed to grow vis-a-vis responsibility. And that's why, if you remember, since independence, when we had the National Broadcasting Code and all these issues, they were intended to regulate the dissemination of information in an intricately volatile society like Nigeria. And the reason being that our heroes past have done whatever is humanly possible to work towards the unity of this country by bringing a lot of programs, NYSC, federal universities, federal government colleges, and all those were necessary things that were intended to unite a country that came together, just by fiat. And our leaders saw the danger of allowing, free flow of information that will do to that kind of result, and they decided that, look, we must do something about it. So when social media came, and I'm sure this should be about 9 years or 10 years ago, I felt, as a lawmaker, why can't we do something by way of regulation? Because I was aware that Section 24 of the Cybercrime Act has been passed, and it's too fluid, and it's going to give police and other security agencies a lot of leverages to deal with supposed enemies or whatever. And I felt, look, let us find a defined law that will regulate this social media bill. When that bill went through the second reading, it was subjected to public hearing. Gladdingly, the Chief Justice of Nigeria came before the public hearing and said he has read the length and breadth of that law, and it has not infringed in any of the provisions of our Constitution. That was very, very important to me. So today, I can say everyone has become a victim. Sheung, if you are not one, I will be surprised.
I have petitions.
Exactly, yeah. But you see, managing it now is going to be more difficult for both government and individuals. And then it's going to bring a lot of hatred, rancorous situation. That is not helpful.
But what you were proposing,
Yes.
Senator,
Yeah.
it sounded like you want people to be gagged.
No.
The social media has given people the opportunity to freely express themselves. But what you are saying is that as though you want people's mouth to be sealed and people to be gagged.
No, if you look at that law, it was carefully couched. Carefully couched. And if the members of the society or the citizens have carefully understood that law, it was more to their benefit, than leaving the Section 24 of the Cybercrime Act to continue. But unfortunately, we were just coming from an election where the then president wanted to be a popular person and felt that everything should be allowed to go the way it is. And to me, that was not leadership.
So what did you intend at the time?
Thank you.
What was your what did you see?
The necessary intendment of that law was to say, look, the law says you have right to swing your arm. But the same law says, whereby doing so, you will be hitting another person's nose. That right stops there. And therefore, if you have to put anything on social media that affects Sheung or affects Nala or affects anyone, you must be sure that you are putting what you are sure is correct. Just the recent example you are now putting between Ribadu and Najatu. Mm-hmm. You can see that Najatu made a statement. Ribadu wanted a retraction and apology, and she said, look, I'm not going to apologize because what I have said is being reported not only by me, but I have additional evidence from other places to say you actually said that. You can see how the argument is going. So that law is to protect this kind of situation. You understand? But unfortunately, I told you, the euphoria of coming out from election, and then leaders wanting to be seen to be the best of human beings, never saw the wisdom in that. But in law, there is what we refer to as doctrine of reasonable foreseeability. And that is what a reasonable person acting reasonably should have capacity to foresee. Unfortunately, I saw that and others didn't see it. Today, the damage that has been done, I am not so sure is recoverable. I am not so sure.
So you think that the nation has lost a lot from not allowing that your law to go through?
Exactly. Even the youths who are fighting against that law, they have lost a lot. They have lost a lot because they will have loved to be raised in a society where they can have some level of accountability, from their leaders by way of being allowed to put in what they believe is correct, and then they are protected by law. Today, if I sit down and look at what happens morally, on the social media, if I look at what is even happening, virtually every institution has been destroyed. You are a witness. You see how one malam will be going to social media to discredit another malam. You see how one pastor will be going to say the other pastor is this. And we don't need this kind of society.
Is social media destroying our society?
It is.
Really?
It is. The damage.
You don't think it's fostering societal development and conversation, freedom, speech?
It does. But take the balance. The good and the bad. If Nigerians, with due respect, were to use the social media with the level of discipline that dissemination of information, requires, there is no wahala. But you see, here you are with somebody who says, look, I have spent the best of my life trying to make sure that my integrity is intact, and then just one day, somebody will just go under a tree because he has the privilege of having an iPhone. He says, look, Shehu, don't you know that you are the most useless person on earth? Don't you know that I know? And all these are false. Then you begin to scamper. How many people have read this? You cannot, by the time, even if, for example, you say your own version of the story, a lot of people will have gone with the impression that this is what you are. That is not good for human development. It's not nice.
Are you worried that this is going to really destroy our society, or is going to have a very damning consequence on our society?
Well, the consequences are obvious. There is no point to state the obvious. I am not so sure it will benefit you if I start telling you that you have two eyes. Everyone knows this. But if we choose to deny the truth, then we have the problem. Like my Quran will say, they will seek for peace, but they will never find it because they have rejected the truth. This is the situation. You see, this country, when I sit down and I try to interrogate the thinking, the idea of governance and leadership, I get a bit worried. You see, as a leader, you have responsibility to steer the society in such a way that there will be maximum peace, maximum love between the people you govern. So if you steer the society in such a manner that you want to give that unfettered freedom to some people, to damage others, and then no consequence, nothing, I'm not so sure that kind of society will be a society that is ready for growth and development.
Is the advantage or the positives of social media to our society less than the danger? You think the danger is more?
The advantage of social media is more than the disadvantage. But I'm telling you, the irresponsible use of social media has rendered almost the advantage to nothing. You understand? Because if you build and then you destroy, how does that help you?
So social media is destroying our society.
It is. Shehu, if I tell you morally, if I tell you the level of moral damage that social media has done to Nigerian society, it's unquantifiable. And everybody knows this.
Should the president of the day be worried about the consequence?
Well, he himself is a victim. I have read somewhere where he said he doesn't even read social media anymore. If it is good, if it's something that is good, why will a whole president of 200 million Nigerians refuse to? Me, I devote 1 hour every day for social media. I devote 1 hour for radio, and I devote another 1 hour for television, just to have an idea. What are the polls outside? How do people see us as leaders? How you understand? And you cannot run away from that. The ordinary man on the street is the man who knows what he feels, how he feels it, and then the effect on him. And if you don't listen to him, he doesn't have access to you. But he has access to Berkete family, he has access to channel, maybe if he run into you somewhere, he has access to other means of dissemination of information. And then you can see what his thinking is. And so, if you know what his thinking is, there are some that may not necessarily be correct.
But are you worried that what you are saying today, they will come after you?
Who?
People on social media.
I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, no. You see,
they came after you once.
Yes, and has that affected me? Have I not been vindicated today? Have I not been vindicated? You see, as a leader, when you want to tell people the truth, you must have the conviction that you are saying it out of love for those people. So if they come after you either based on ignorance, mischief, or any other consideration, that's a different matter. But you see, if I am to be in my grave today, Sheung, if discussion is going to be centered around social media, you will say Senator Nala have said